Hey, my friends, Miss Drews here with your phonics this week. So, this week, these are good strategies for when you're reading, when you're on a word and you get stuck. Happens to all of us, right? Okay, so looking for those little chunks will make those words that if I sound it out sound by sound, it's probably not going to be right because now we're getting into harder books. I'm getting ready for third grade reading. So, looking for these chunks I'm about to point out. Okay, the very first one, a little bit, you might be able to use when you're spelling, but the more you practice with these newer chunks to know which one to spell, the better. Okay, but let's look at that first one. This little word right here, A-I-R. I'm going to underline it. Okay, and I'll leave it like that on your slides too. So A-I-R is a small word that most of us know, like air, right? Air around me. All right, I was just outside breathing in some fresh air outside. Okay, well, I got my sunglasses on, by the way. All right, so when I see this in other words, okay, that can help me. It is a chunk, it is a spelling rule. A-I-R is usually saying air. Okay, so if I didn't know this word, if I did something like this, p, a, I, p, a, I, sound by sound like that, it's not going to work. Ain't going to work, people. Okay. I need to know that this chunk, like I said, these 3 letters now, because not just 2 letters, sometimes it's 3-letter chunk, okay, has the air sound. And if I know that, then this word is easy peasy. Air, pair, like my pair of sunglasses. Okay. Like I need to find my pair of socks because, one's always missing, right? Oh my goodness, why does it always happen? Okay. So when you see this chunk air, when you're reading, helps you out, okay? Now, there are some other spelling rules that you're going to look with your teacher, like this right here, okay? Also says air. I'm going to underline it, okay? And so if I know that A-R-E says air as well, I might not make this mistake. Watch this. K. Oh, wait. Ninja E jumping over and telling A, K, A, K, A. It kind of gets it close. But if I know that this is like air, like this, K, air, I won't have a care in the world. I'll know this word. Okay. So care has that other chunk that might say air as well. A-R-E. It does look like an N-G-E, and it kind of can help you if you really sound it out that way. But just knowing that this chunk at the end of words could say air as well. Okay. And then last but not least on here, I've got this word as well. Okay. Which is actually similar to this one. I'll go over that in a minute. Okay, now we talked I think it was last week, that this sometimes E-A-R says ear, but there's so many weird spelling rules in English. I know. But that sometimes it is going to say air because these are all saying air this week. So E-A-R can sometimes say air. So if I'm reading a word and I go ear, peer, and it doesn't make sense in my book, then I might have to try that other sound that I know it makes, like knowing that E-A-R can also say air from this week, air. And this, pair and pair, you're right, you read them the same way, but they mean different things, okay? They sound the same, okay, homophones, but they mean different things, all right? Like this is the pair of socks, like I talked about earlier, this is the pear that I eat, okay? Like, I might have a nice pear after my running today. Ooh, that sounds good. All right, so all of these chunks, A-I-R, A-R-E, and E-A-R are going to say air. All right, now sometimes they might say some other things, but today in your work on the second slide, you're going to be looking for the air, air, and air on your 4-leaf clovers. I know it's a little bit past St. Patrick's Day, but it just worked this week. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to drag and sort by your patterns here. So if I looked at this first one, okay, I know that there's an A-I-R, so now it's going to go over here underneath this one. Okay, but as I'm moving them, not only just paying attention to where the chunks are, but of course, obviously reading them. Air, fair. Like you gotta have a fair choice. Because if I do that while I'm reading them, or sorting them and I'm reading them, not only am I getting better at my reading, but the second part of this job is to take two of those words and put it into sentences. So if I'm already reading them as I go along, I already have them in my head, I can just go back and look and see what my words are to put into a sentence, either typing or writing it on your board and inserting a picture. All right, so again, looking for those airs, air, air, and air, sorting them, and then taking 2 of those words and putting them into sentences to practice. All right, see you later.